Let's be honest, modern life tells us a little lie about confidence. It tries to sell you on the idea that confidence comes from the outside, the job title, the likes on your post, the approval of the people around you. Every ad and curated social media feed whispers this same promise. But that kind of confidence is fragile. It leaves your self-worth swinging up and down with things you can't actually control. It's an exhausting game you can never really win. One critical comment, one missed promotion, one text left unread, and that whole structure of self-esteem can just crumble. It leaves you constantly chasing, performing, and feeling anxious. What if there was a different way? What if the ancient Stoics, the philosophers who advised emperors and endured exile, left behind a blueprint for a confidence that's built to last? Not a fleeting feeling, but an inner core of self-belief so solid that nothing and no one can shake it. A confidence forged on the inside, totally independent of praise or criticism. We're about to uncover their 7 secrets to building that exact kind of unstoppable confidence. This isn't about puffing out your chest or faking it till you make it. This is about building a foundation of rock-solid inner peace. 2,000 years ago, guys like the Roman Emperor Marcus Aurelius, the playwright Seneca, and a former slave-turned-teacher named Epictetus were all wrestling with the same chaos we do. The philosophy they developed, Stoicism, wasn't just some abstract thought experiment. It was a practical guide to life, a training manual for the mind to build resilience and calm. The Stoics knew the world was unpredictable. They understood that fortune is fickle, people can be difficult, and hardship is pretty much guaranteed. But instead of despairing, they created a set of mental tools to not just endure challenges, but to use them as fuel. And at the heart of it all is the key to real confidence, knowing that your power isn't in controlling the world around you, but in mastering the world within you. So let's get into the first secret. The first and most important secret to Stoic confidence is knowing the difference between what you can control and what you can't. Epictetus put it perfectly. The chief task in life is simply this: to identify and separate matters so that I can say clearly to myself which are externals not under my control and which have to do with the choices I actually control. Think about how much of our anxiety comes from trying to manage things we have zero command over. You can't control if someone likes you, a sudden traffic jam, the economy, or what other people think of your work. Tying your confidence to any of that is like building a house on sand. The Stoics argue that your real power is in focusing only on the tiny kingdom where you are king, your thoughts, your judgments, and your actions. As Marcus Aurelius wrote to himself, you have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. Confidence isn't believing you can make everything go your way. It's knowing you can handle anything that comes your way, because your response is always under your control. When you really get this, the desperate need for everything to go perfectly just starts to fade. Criticism doesn't sting as much because your worth isn't tied to someone else's opinion. Failure becomes less terrifying because you see it as just an external outcome, not a final verdict on you. Your practical action. Try this for the next week. Grab a notebook and draw a line down the middle of a page. On the left, write down everything you're worried about. On the right, for each of those worries, pinpoint the parts you can't control and the parts you can, your actions, your mindset, your effort. Then make a conscious choice to let go of the left column and pour all your energy into the right one. You'll start retraining your brain to focus on where your strength really is. The second secret sounds a little strange. To build confidence, you have to spend some time imagining things going wrong. The Stoics had a great name for this: premeditatio malorum, or the premeditation of evils. Seneca said, "What is quite unlooked for is more crushing in its effect." This is a reason for ensuring that nothing ever takes us by surprise. A lot of our anxiety comes from a vague, fuzzy fear of the future. We worry about losing our job or a relationship ending, but these fears get big and scary because we refuse to look them in the eye. The Stoic move is to face them head-on, in a controlled, rational way. When you calmly think through worst-case scenarios, two things happen. First, you realize the worst case is usually survivable. As Seneca noted, we often suffer more in imagination than in reality. Second, it lets you prepare. By rehearsing hardship in your mind, you take away its power to shock and paralyze you. Let's say you have a big presentation. The unconfident mind just tries not to think about bombing. The Stoic mind calmly asks, "Okay, what could go wrong?" The projector might die. I could forget a key point. Someone might ask a question I can't answer. By picturing these things, you can plan. You bring a backup on a USB. You practice your talk until it's automatic. You brainstorm answers to tough questions. This isn't pessimism, it's strategic optimism. You become so confident in your ability to handle trouble that you're not afraid to stare it down beforehand. Your practical action. The next time you feel anxious about something, take 5 minutes. Don't just vaguely worry. Ask yourself, what's the worst plausible outcome here? Really picture it. Then ask, what's one concrete thing I could do right now to prepare for that or to soften the blow? This turns you from a passive worrier into an active preparer. This third secret completely flips the script on failure and difficulty. For the Stoics, the obstacles in your path aren't in the way of your journey, they are the journey. Marcus Aurelius put it beautifully, writing that the impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way. Seneca uses the analogy of a prize fighter. He says a fighter who's never been beaten black and blue can't go into the ring with real confidence. It's the one who has seen his own blood, who has felt his teeth rattle, who can fight with spirit. Why? Because they know they can take a punch. They know they can get knocked down and get back up. Adversity is just the training ground for resilience. A lack of confidence is really just a fear of being tested. We fear rejection, so we don't ask for the raise. We fear failure, so we don't start the business. We fear looking stupid, so we don't speak up. The Stoics would say these things we fear are the very ingredients we need to build the character we want. Every time you face a challenge and don't fall apart, you're forging more confidence. Every no you get, every mistake you learn from, every tough conversation you navigate, these aren't signs of weakness. They are reps in the gym of resilience. As Seneca put it, a life without difficulty is a tragedy, because no one can ever know what you are capable of, not even you. Your practical action. Try this for one day. Reframe every single challenge you face. Stuck in traffic? It's not a waste of time. It's a chance to practice patience. Someone criticizes your work. It's not an attack. It's training for handling feedback without your ego imploding. At the end of the day, write down one obstacle you faced and how it acted as a sparring partner for a virtue you value. The fourth secret is about building an unbreachable fortress inside your own mind. The Stoics called this the inner citadel. It's a quiet, rational place you can retreat to at any moment, a place that external chaos can't touch. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "People try to get away from it all, to the country, to the beach, to the mountains, which is idiotic. You can get away from it any time you like. By going within, nowhere you can go is more peaceful than your own soul." This inner citadel isn't built with bricks, but with rational thoughts and self-awareness. It's the part of you that can observe your emotions without being swept away by them. It understands a crucial truth. Events themselves don't hurt you. Only your judgment about them can. If someone insults you, the words are just sounds. The sting comes from you agreeing with the idea that you've been harmed. Confidence that's based on your job, your looks, or your relationships is fragile because all those things can disappear. But your inner citadel? That's all yours. By strengthening it every day with a little reflection, you build a core of stability that doesn't rely on the messy world outside. When things get crazy, you have a safe harbor to return to. Look at the situation calmly and choose how you want to respond. Your practical action. Start a 5-minute reflection practice. At the end of the day, sit quietly and review what happened like a neutral observer. Notice when you got upset or anxious. Ask yourself, was it the event itself that caused this, or was it my judgment about the event? This simple habit slowly builds the walls of your inner citadel, creating a healthy space between you and your knee-jerk reactions. The fifth secret takes a direct shot at our modern obsession with validation. The Stoics saw the hunger for praise as a kind of self-imposed slavery. Every time you look to someone else to tell you you're good enough or smart enough, you're handing them the remote control to your own emotions. Epictetus didn't mince words. If you are ever tempted to look for outside approval, realize that you have compromised your integrity. He wanted us to be our own audience, to develop an internal scorecard based on our own values. And when you think about it, it's kind of absurd, isn't it? Why would you value the opinion of a random person over your own well-reasoned judgment? Marcus Aurelius found it baffling, asking why we all love ourselves more than other people, but care more about their opinion than our own. Real Stoic confidence is that quiet assurance that comes from living by your own principles. It's doing the right thing as you see it, even if no one's watching, and especially if everyone is criticizing. This doesn't mean being arrogant or plugging your ears to feedback. It just means the ultimate judge of your character is you, your practical action. For the next 24 hours, go on a validation fast. Don't post anything on social media. Don't ask for opinions on your work, your outfit, or your ideas unless it's truly necessary. At the end of the day, instead of fishing for a compliment, take 1 minute to give yourself one. Acknowledge something you handled well or a moment you acted with character. Be your own witness. The sixth secret unhooks your self-worth from your results. For the Stoics, the true measure of a person isn't what they achieve, but the character they show while trying. Their whole ethical system was built on 4 key virtues: wisdom, courage, justice, and temperance or self-control. The good, for a Stoic, is in the intention and the action, not the result. You can act with incredible courage and still lose the battle. You can argue a case with flawless justice and still lose in court. You can launch a business with great wisdom and still watch it fail. From a Stoic point of view, none of that matters when it comes to your worth. Your job is just to play your part as best you can. The results are up to fate, fortune, the universe, all the stuff in that out-of-your-control column. When your confidence is tied to acting well, you can be confident in any situation, win or lose. You tried your best. You acted with integrity. That is the victory. This is incredibly liberating. It lets you take big swings and chase ambitious goals without the paralyzing fear that if you don't succeed, you're a failure. Your success is defined by the quality of your effort, not the trophy at the end. Your practical action. Before your next big task, say a job interview, define what a virtuous effort looks like, completely separate from the result. Success isn't just getting the job. Virtuous effort is, I will be honest, I will be fully prepared, I will represent myself with courage. Then focus only on that. Afterward, judge yourself by that standard, not on whether you get the callback. The final, and maybe the most powerful Stoic secret, is the idea of amor fati, a love of your fate. While the philosopher Friedrich Nietzsche coined that specific Latin term much later, the concept is pure Stoicism. Epictetus taught, Do not seek for things to happen the way you want them to. Rather, wish that what happens happen the way it happens. Then you will be happy. This isn't about being a passive doormat. It's an active, powerful choice to see everything that happens, the good, the bad, and the ugly, as necessary and even useful. The confident person doesn't need life to go a certain way. They trust that whatever life gives them can be used as fuel. A job loss becomes a chance to find a better career path. A painful breakup becomes a masterclass in resilience. A huge mistake becomes an unforgettable lesson in humility. As Marcus Aurelius said, a blazing fire makes flame and brightness out of everything that is thrown into it. Amor fati is the ultimate expression of confidence. It's the deep-down belief that you are so resilient and adaptable that no event can truly break you. In fact, every event met with this mindset will only make you stronger. You stop fighting with reality and learn to dance with it instead. Your practical action. Think of one difficult event from your past. Instead of just wishing it never happened, ask yourself 3 questions. What did this teach me? How did it make me stronger? What door did it open that would have stayed closed otherwise? This exercise trains you to find the flame and brightness in everything. So, these 7 secrets aren't quick fixes. They're a practice for life. The Stoics never promised a life without pain or difficulty. They offered something much better, a blueprint for a mind that can't be broken by it. From mastering what you can control to learning to love your fate, each secret is a tool to move your sense of self-worth. You take it from the shaky, unpredictable outside world and place it in the unshakable fortress of your own mind. You stop needing praise, you stop fearing failure, and you stop being a victim of your circumstances. That is the Stoic promise. An inner peace and a core of confidence so profound, it becomes unstoppable. As Seneca wrote, it is the power of the mind to be unconquerable. If any of this resonated with you, don't wait. Pick just one of these secrets and try the action step for the next week. Let us know in the comments which one you're going to start with. And if you want to keep exploring how to build a more resilient and confident mind, make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell. Thanks for watching.